So just to give you an indication of what I'm doing, there we go. All right. So just to give you an indication of what I'm doing, let's see if this works. Right, good morning, everyone. Oh, David checking in, a bit groggy and tired. Gwen, can you just mute while I'm talking?
Yes, sorry.
And then it won't echo. And then I'll mute when you talk. Yeah, cool. So David Collins checking in. I'm in Johannesburg. I've landed very safely. I'm being looked after by Gwen. And yeah, Sundays with David is going to have to make some changes because the world around us has changed. So yeah, that's what where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I check in with Joy. I tag Branca.
Thank you. Yes, well, I'm in the house of my nephew. That weekend I don't work, so I always come here to repose a little bit, go to the beach. Yeah, I feel a little bit I feel a little bit like anxious and a little bit preoccupied about my work, what I'm doing now. Yes, this little bit last couple days makes me a little bit anxious, but and generally I feel good. Yeah, and I check in good mood. Yeah, and take a Gwen.
Thank you. I'm also feeling a bit anxious, but happy, and also a bit anxious about work. But yeah, and interested to know, David, what you meant when you said Sundays with David will have to change a bit. What I'd love to know how you envisage it going forward.
Right, so let's talk about that. I'm just setting up the recording. Oh. All right. So we're running out of space on the recordings. Okay. Oh. So the way Sundays with David is changing. Let's first talk about the point of Sundays with David. So the point of Sundays with David is it's a couple of hours every Sunday that people can join and go through the material. Yeah, they get trained by me, they attend the classes by me, and they get to go through the 5 modules. Yep. The conversation, the continuum, the system, the 4Q model, and creating the container. And the whole point, one of the I'm going to say the values of this organization being a public benefit organization is we need to benefit the public. And so, and we also need to prove evidence that this work is being done. So we've been streaming the classes to the workplace community where we've been giving members from the public access. And if they can't afford or pay for the training in some sort of giveaway or some sort of barter system, yeah, they're able to watch it. they're able to watch and understand and see what we're doing. So we're not denying people the access to the lectures, they just can't participate in the classroom. So that's what the original thinking was. Now our IT systems are changing. Yep. Workplace from Facebook is going away, and we've got 8 years worth of institutional capital, institutional wisdom, institutional knowledge sitting on a platform, which we need to take off and move somewhere else. So the reason it's changing is there's an outside technological change that is influencing the way that we communicate. So I've been playing with WhatsApp and WhatsApp groups because WhatsApp's way more accessible to a lot of people. And I'm now playing with Google and YouTube to try and work out what we can do to teach people and to get students to learn kind of basic IT skills like the equivalent to Word, to PowerPoint, to Excel, which is Google's documents, sheet, and slides, so that people can learn some basic IT skills that are marketable in the workplace for when if for when they go out into the workplace. So that's where my thinking is moving back. We've also got the pressure. Branka, did you also need to ask? We've also, thank you, Branka. We've also got the outside influence of accreditators of what makes an accredited school, and how you what your content is, how you teach students, how you track students, how you test students, and how do you qualify students so they can go out into the world as professionals. So I've got all those sort of things bubbling in my head that to try and consolidate and bring together. So I'm going to be continuing to show up on Sundays with David to do these classes. And the way that it's structured is anyone can drop in at any time and start their 20 weeks. So, for example, Joanna dropped in just over 9 months ago and has just completed her 20 weeks and got certified. Yeah. Branka has joined us since the end of January. So Branka's been here for February, March, April, May, June. Yeah. And we're starting July. So Branka would have yeah, how are you doing, Branka? How's your journey going? Did I answer your question though, Gwen? Just before we go to you, Branka.
Yes, you did. You did. You did. I understand it's more of a technological change, but I didn't, and I mistook what you were saying for a change of direction, whether you were going to change what you're actually delivering in the meetings. So, or whether the direction, whether the direction of the meetings will change. But thank you. Yes, you did.
All right. So Branka, how are you doing? Where are you at?
I don't know where I am.
So how did your recording go in Croatian to Paula? Did you get feedback?
Yes, I talked with Paula yesterday. She gave me a feedback. She said she gave me some. She writes something what I didn't mention in my video, so this was good, and she's content. And yeah, it's I can't for today will be all together when I start January 7, and today will be 52 hour, I think. And so I spoke with her yesterday. She told me she didn't yet speak with you. What it will be my next step? Now I need to do coaching conversation training. So we make appointment for Thursday, I think, for trying to do this. We need to find the time because I have a little bit difficult time with my work, and she also. But I beginning to start with David Wright, doing coaching conversation at the morning. We change it daily reading with coaching conversation. So we have only one lesson. Yeah, do this because I proposed to him if he want to do this with me, and he agree with that. So yeah, we have one session only where he was the coach and I was the client. I didn't do this, but we decided to do this. So I will do this with him, and the first time will be with Paula on Tuesday, I think. So it's the second step what I need to do, or I don't know what it's what I need to do now.
Okay, so in terms of classroom hours, you've completed the classroom hours. You've been here for over 40 hours. Yeah. So in terms of showing up, you're a committed student that's been in classrooms. Yeah. The next question is going, so it's and you can keep coming. The more you come, the better, because each class people continuously learn and things. This is expanding. Yeah. The second thing is do you understand the theory and are you able to practice it? Yeah. So you did a coaching session and it was reviewed by one of your peers in your own language, and Paula has said yes, that's good. Yeah. So that's great. We've then got your personal journal. Yeah. And the personal journal is, how have you as an individual changed from when you joined to where you are now? So if I was to ask you, how have you changed over these 52 hours? Your thinking, your relationships, how has your world changed from where you were in January to where you are now?
Well, at the beginning, yeah, I was very confused. Didn't know if I'm ready for that, if I able for do this. I didn't know if I want this, does this for me, all that question. But yeah, and well, said really that I still don't know does I'm able for do this, I'm now more aware what I'm doing. Have more confidence, but yeah, I still don't have that inside of me that I don't know it's that really I can do this, or is this for me, or yeah, I have that. Maybe because I didn't still do that conversation training with nobody, I didn't maybe try to, I still have that sense that I don't know how to explain, that I didn't maybe for that things to do. I don't know. So yeah, I'm still confused about that. Dear sincerity, how you said the truth. I'm still don't know. It's that, I didn't find that something inside me that, or maybe I'm too much preoccupied or something like this. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm still confused.
When you got your hand up?
Yeah, Branka, how has anything changed in the way you listen to people when they're talking, even if they are not talking directly to you?
Yes, that change. Yes, I try to be more concentrated for looking the person who I talking to. Yeah. Um, Sometimes I use this with approach with my nephew or my sister or my ex-boyfriend. Yes, I use it, and it works. I must say, yeah. I
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I maybe need to do that conversation. I will see at first Thursday with Paula how will be going. You know.
From the sessions that I have had with you, I know that one of the big obstacles in your case is the language barrier and I understand that because you hear and you have to translate and at the same time try to answer immediately, and it becomes difficult to juggle that procedure. So if you are able to do coaching in your own language with Paula or with Massimo, even though Italian is not your language, but it's certainly your second language, yeah, you know,
Yeah, that's the problem too. So yeah, I will see with Paula how it will be going. So. But I feel much better. I don't know. I step by step saw that I'm more growing a little bit, But until did I don't do that conversation with somebody, I must do that steps. Yes. So for recognize more what I feel, I think.
So, Branka, just so you know, this is recording, yeah? We're recording this meeting and it's going out into the internet, but in a private space. But I want to ask you if I can have your permission to excuse me.
Yes, you.
Thank you. I want to know if I have your permission to talk about your story.
Yes, of course.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just mute your mic. Yep. And so this is how I've seen you change. You came onto the call in January and you were very anxious and insecure and overwhelmed and oh my God, I can't speak English. It's my third language. I don't know if it's this me and very, very, very fearful. Yeah. Now when I see you, you're a lot more grounded and confident and playful, and you're so willing to learn still, and I can just see from an outsider how you've personally adjusted to this environment from an anxiety perspective. Okay. On top of that, I got to hear a bit of your story. Yep, you've told me about your relationships with substances and addiction in the past, abusive relationships, and how you've managed to break out of that and look after yourself. Yeah. On top of that, I've noticed how you spoke about when you went back to that relationship a couple of weeks ago, and you noticed within yourself how there was a huge change in you, and you've moved from someone who's been abused and deeply impacted and left really confused in that relationship to someone that's like very grounded and like kind of going, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you mad? Like, what's going on? You're still doing this stuff. So as a woman, I've seen you become a lot more stronger and way more confident in yourself and your own agency. Yeah. On top of that, the way that you've shown up with your speaking to your nephew and your mother and things like that, listening more and doing things like that, and your sister, I've seen huge growth as well. Yeah. On top of that, in the workplace environment, you've changed jobs or you've taken on another job and how you've shown up there. So if I look at how your whole life has changed over these past 6 months, I can see a huge shift. I want to acknowledge that I'm driven by a bias that I want you to do brilliantly. So I might be seeing all these things and bigging you up when they're not there. However, if I check with your peers and colleagues around you, and in the other support groups you've been going to, they echo that as well. Yep. And the fact that you sang the soccer song the other day, the Croatian soccer song the other day, on Zoom in a class, that just shows me that here's a woman that's kind of goes, fuck you, here I am, this is my place in the world, yeah, take it or leave it. So for me, I have seen a huge shift. And what we want to see from a training perspective is, do you have some insight to yourself and your area and your shortcomings? Now, often what happens is because we live with ourselves all the time, yep, we don't realize all the changes that we're making on a daily basis, and we don't actually realize the journey that we've gone along. And sometimes it takes outsiders to go, hang on, you were there and now you're here. Hang on, you were there, now you're here. Hang on, you were there, now you're here. So me personally, who's seen you once a week consistently over the past several months, I've seen a huge shift. And that makes me feel incredibly proud of not only you, but the work that we do here and your colleagues around us. So I can see a huge shift in your personal journey. Yeah. Now you can write that or not write that. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah. The requirement is you write a personal journey. Yeah. As far as I can see, you've ticked that box right now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, David. That's what you say to me now. It's very nice. You repeat everything. What I saying that couple months, you put now everything together. and how you remember everything what I talk about, that makes me feel in good way, emotional, very emotional. That how you listen the person, you know, you put everything what I said in that past months, you didn't forget nothing. It's amazing for me. And thank you for that. It's moved me very deeply. Yeah.
You're a huge asset to the world, Branka. And I hope that you can see that one day, how important you are.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, maybe sometimes we cannot see ourselves in that way. Yeah. And when you hear somebody said to you, you know, for me it's amazing because I heard that for you and for another person in meeting with Gwen, Massimo, how they are see me and listen to me, and I can not explain how emotion in me when I heard that. Yeah, so probably it's yeah, at the moment I don't feel. I don't know what to say now. I need. I know that I need more time for go forward, for take all that things and put in my head to in right place. I still work on that, so with time I think that will be happen. Yeah. Sometimes maybe I feel tired because they don't because sometimes I think it's too long and that I never beginning to do something about, for example, coaching. But yes, I need time. So and so
Gwen, would you like to come in here?
Branka, in my experience of you, I have been overwhelmed by your courage. It really is overwhelming. Not only me, others have said this as well, but certainly I have been again and again amazed by your courage. I've been very envious of it, actually. I am very envious of you, and I've seen the way you, despite all the misfortunes that you have lived through in your life and all the challenges that you face, and they are big challenges that you have come through, how you have never once wavered in your compassion and your authenticity and your humility. You are an inspiring individual, a deeply inspiring individual. And it has been a privilege interacting with you. So I'm listening to the conversation you're having with David, and I'm thinking, you were born to coach, you were born to interact with people. This is where your genius is. And I know it will come. Personally, you have made a very big impact on me in my life, personally, that I will never forget.
Thank you, Gwen. That it's been lost to me. Thank you very much.
Just take a breath.
Yes.
That's ending the classes. It's getting doing some coaching sessions, recorded coaching sessions. It's getting those evaluated by one of our certified coaches. Yeah. Then it's the personal journey. The online exam and all that stuff has changed with the online content. Have you started going through the online content?
No, what does that mean?
Let
Uh,
me send
I
you the material. Yes, Gwen?
I went through the online content with Bronca over several weeks, every week.
Aha, is that what we're doing,
Yeah,
Gwen?
over the manual. Though I must point out to you, David, that the manual that I was using was, there were two different manuals. The one that I chose was the one I chose. There was a lot in it that I did not use. There was a lot of American content, very American content, and a great deal of referencing and bibliography. But certainly Bronca and I did work through the online material.
Okay, that's fine. But what we've done is we've now put because I was talking about the exam. Yeah. So if you go to that link there that says uac.teachable.com and enroll there and start to go through the material as well. You don't have to read it again or anything, but there are some multiple choice exams that are part of that content. Yep. And once you've answered those questions, you'll get a certificate that proves that you've also done the online content and have an understanding of it. Yeah. And Gwen, I want to thank you for really kind of holding Branca's hand and supporting her through this.
Might I add something here?
Sure.
Branca, when you go through this material that David is telling you about on this teachable platform, if you are battling with the language, with the questions that you have to answer, you can ask Massimo to translate for you into Italian, or you can ask Paula to translate for you into Croatian, so that you have every advantage. Because it's the question and then various answers. You can choose the right answer. For that, you need a very solid grasp of the language. Is that okay, David, that I'm saying this to Branca?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you want to write the test, the online test, you can ask Massimo to sit with you and he can translate for you while you're doing it. What is the question in Italian? And these are the answers. Choose the answer. So that it's not that you don't have to also battle with language. All right? They are not long tests. It's not a long test.
Okay, then if I understand well, this is some test with the questions and I need to answer of that?
Correct.
Okay, and it in English, I can maybe translate in the Google translation.
You can do that, or you can ask Massimo to sit with you while you do the test, or Paula, so that you have every advantage. The test is in English, and in all fairness, you deserve to be able to read it correctly in your own language and understand it, so that you don't have that challenge of worrying about language.
So Branca, I've also just posted in the chat the old one. Yeah, which is a Google form, which you're welcome to fill out as well. Does the form open for you in the chat? Gwen, does it open for you?
You want I open the link? The second one?
Yeah, the second one.
1 second, because my laptop is too very old and slow.
That's okay.
1 second, if I can open.
It opens for me, but it's asking me for a password and to sign in. And this is always where I come unstuck.
Let me see.
I don't know what my Google password is.
Open, okay.
Where can I
Okay,
find my Google password? Yeah, sorry.
I opened the second link.
Yeah.
UHET Recovery Coach Written Exam.
Yeah, good. Okay, great.
Where can I find my Google password?
We'll have I'll have a look at yours in a minute, Gwen. When we take a break in 5 minutes, I'll come through and go clickety click and see if we can find it. Okay, so you good with that, Branko? You can do that later.
Yes, the first link that what you send me, it's explain about coaching, you know, yeah, it's like check if, yes, it's like what is recovery coaching, that, okay, and the second link is the for exam, for the exam. Okay.
Now the first link, if you look there, it should say enroll somewhere.
Yeah, enroll now.
Yeah,
no, and enroll.
Click enroll now.
Okay, 1 second. Yes, it's now said sync up. Let me see if I can with Google.
Yes.
Okay, and 1 minute. Minute. Yep, I'm here. Academy coaching and training. CAC course current curriculum. No,
Current
something like this.
There we go. Great.
Then
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So you go through that in your own time and when you want. Okay.
All that first start next lessons, or and that all that lesson start what I have 20, 50, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just click start. Click the first one.
1 second. Come back. Start. The first I have start next lesson, but after lower I have GPRC start.
Yeah.
What I
Click
that
start.
one. Okay. 1 minute.
And does it? Yep.
Yeah, now this is the first one. It's GPRC training outline.
There you go. All right.
What
You're on
can
your
you
way.
add?
So just
Oh,
keep
great.
in your own time.
Great, thank you. Yeah, super.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. And then at the end of all that, the final thing you'll need to do is a case study. Yep. So are you coaching someone? You're muted, Bunker.
If I coach someone?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay. So you need to get a client.
Yes.
You can ask Christina.
Yeah, I will do first with Paula.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. Yeah, I can try ask Christina too.
Okay, good. Great. All right. Well, on that note, let's take a break, because once you've done that, then you'll sit and you'll sit in front of a panel, and I imagine a good panel would be for maybe you, Paola, Massimo, and Gwen, and and whoever you coach, and then they'll give you a feedback.
But first I must do all the things what you sent to me on my own.
Yeah. When you're ready. And this is the link to the assessor's feedback form. And this is what the assessors are looking for. So this is a nice cheat sheet for you. So they're looking to, have you created the container? Can you check in? Can you contract? Can you build the container? Did you listen to the client's agenda? Did you ask open questions? Were you able to listen at levels 1, 2, and 3? Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You go to break.
Yeah,
5
let's have a
minutes.
break. Yeah, let's have a break. You can go and have a smoke and calm down. And
Yes.
Gwen can make us coffee, and I'll sort out her Gmail password. Okay. See you all at 11. Hi, Branka, I'm back.
Hi, David.
Oh.
Evo nema.
Hang on.
Join in a while, I'll just bring you a copy.
I'm just busy going to check to see if the recording's working, Branka. Switch channels.
You join in a second, I just need a cigarette.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just hope the stream's working. We'll see. All right, let's carry on, Branka. You want to check in?
Yes. I check in more understanding now. Now when you send me all the things, yeah, I feel more grounding. I don't know how. Yeah.
Grounded. Yep, you've got some
Yes.
clarity and
Yes.
understanding.
Yes. Exactly. Then I want to resume. Okay, and I check in. Yeah, connected better. Good.
So
I
I
take
check
Gwen
in.
or you. Okay.
Yeah. No, Gwen's just having a cigarette. I check in. Yeah, I'm proud of the process that we've created here. And I'm quite comfortable that people can just drop in any time and they will get an understanding of the work. And so now that you check in saying you got grounded, you've got clarity, all that sort of stuff, it confirms the way that we're doing this stuff. So that's helpful for me. Most academic institutions, they'll have terms, exams, marking, they'll have different kinds of they have a structure which doesn't really necessarily work for everyone. But this works for us, or it seems to be working.
Yes, and if I understand well, that's what you sent me, it's 2 links. The first, I need to pass all that, where it is. The first link, read that certification, enroll now and get all that start. And after that, I do the test exam or before that?
I think you're ready for your exam when you do your exam.
Okay, and when I do this, at the end of the exam, I submit something like this. I don't know.
It'll do it automatically.
Yes, okay, at the end. Okay.
It's all automatic. So the first link I sent you, the uact.teachable.com, the first one. If you go through that material, while you're going through that material, you do the exam. And at the end of it, you'll get given a certificate, which you can then present for us to get certified. Gwen, would you like to check in?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry I'm late, Branka. I was making coffee and David was helping me change my password for Google.
And
which
she was
is
smoking, Branka.
And I went for a cigarette, yeah.
well.
So because I don't smoke
Me
inside.
too.
So yeah. So yeah. Branka,
So are you checking in, Gwen? You're just getting apologies. That's not a check-in.
I'm checking in again, just overwhelmed by you and who you are and your journey and what you've taught me personally over the months that I've known you. There are lessons that are very important to me and that I hold very close to my heart. So I'm checking in with great admiration and awe. Yeah. And I'd like to say something to you, Branka. When you start going through this manual, don't let the technicalities overwhelm you. The most important principles were, I think, the ones that we worked. David, I hope you don't mind my saying this. I'm not in any way second guessing anything. But the most important principles were connecting with a client, having the conversation and listening.
You know, on the work, what I do now, I recognize some of the things. How to use a conversation with client call me when they need some response about some issues what they have with the reservation, something like this. So in our conversation, after when we ask the reservation number, all the things, and when their issues what they have, we always need to repeat what they said. If I understand well, you said, you know, I recognize that we have in conversation, when I have the conversation with David, he always said to me, if I understand well, you said that. So I think that it's one of things too.
Yes, that's called reflective listening.
It's reflecting listening. Yes, this is, for example.
And then also, Branka, David, if I may, do you want me to shut the fuck up, David? Hello?
No. What I do want to do is I want you to stop that shit second guessing the whole time. Just fucking talk.
Okay.
If I understand well, you both in the same room?
No, David's in the lounge and I'm in my room. So, yeah. But Branka, remember, we also talked about listening to what they didn't say. So your work as a coach is to listen to both those dialogues and find the gap between them. And that's where you're working with a client. Because they don't always know what they're not saying, but you can hear it. So for me personally, and I don't know how David will respond to this, but for me personally, that is where the real dialogue lies. And where you have to respond to what they are saying to you, but what you need to take in is what you are hearing on every level, what they are not saying and what they're saying, and also what their bodies are saying. And the rate, the pace, remember we talked about this. The rate, the pace at which people speak tells you a great deal. Sometimes they hesitate, or they take a very long time to form a sentence, or they repeat things continually. It also gives us a very strong message of what is happening inside a client. I'm sure you heard this. I'm sure you've heard this many times in the groups that we're on. Especially when people like Wilco come on, when people like, or anybody comes on. Yeah.
Yeah, when when I get that moment with David, right? And after where we are finished, he asked me how did I to explain how did I saw that conversation with him, and so it was the first how he listened to me, and after that, how you said, David, he repeat what I say to him. And when I beginning to talking of my problem, my agenda, all of this, and I was going too much inside, so he stopped me in some point, to don't go too forward with my thoughts, and concentrated of the part of our conversation. I don't know if I explain myself. So yeah, something like this. But it's important to listen and recognize body language. And what you said, Gwen, try to recognize that what they are don't saying to us. Yeah.
And often it's not that they are not saying it because they don't want to reveal it. They often don't realize that they are not saying what they are not saying, but it comes through even more loudly than what they are saying. Yeah. Especially with anger. Yeah. David, you're mute.
So I was saying, where should we take this container, people?
I'm always struck at the way, I don't know if you two have ever experienced this, but it happens to me all the time. When I ask somebody a question, whether it's in a coaching context or outside a coaching context, I get the answer to a different question. If that makes any sense.
No, I didn't understand.
So when I ask somebody, how are you feeling? They start telling me what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This happens to me all the time, not only in coaching, but in every situation in my life. Or ask them how they're feeling, and they start telling me what their opinions are. People shy away. People become reluctant to explore emotion because it makes them feel vulnerable and threatened. And yet that is the space that we live in. Not what we do, not what we think, but how we feel.
Yeah, I can recognize now that when you said, when I spoke sometimes with my sister, she has that problem with her partner, I don't know. So I asked her, how are you feeling? And in, and she did not, she don't answer to me. She began to talk about what you said, how is the approach, what she do wrong to him or something like this. And I said, I didn't ask that. I asked you to say to me, how are you feeling about that? Not to explain your your
Your actions,
relationship. So
relationship, yeah.
I
So I'd like to wrap up this container if possible, if that's all right with both of you today. I think that yeah, I've gotten a lot out of this, and I'm just, my head's kind of now just filled with technology and how we can structure things. So it's been very helpful sitting here with you, Branka, going through this and reevaluating and taking a look at this. And I was at a meeting on Tuesday, where I'm working with a whole lot of people, and they were talking about, so they've done the mission, the values, and this sort of stuff. Now the question is, what are the principles of this organization? And then Gwen just mentioned the three important principles are the conversation, connection, and listening. And so my head's kind of gone off in a direction with that, where I want to kind of sit down and capture some of that stuff. Yeah, are you two okay with that? Or would you two like to carry on and I'll just listen?
No, I'm fine to check out as well.
yep.
Yeah, okay. All right. So just does this time on a Sunday work for people? Does this work for both of you?
Yes.
Yes, for me works.
Okay, great. All right. Okay. And you, Gwen?
Yes, it does. It works very well for me. I've enjoyed this conversation because we've talked about the nub of it. we didn't really talk about technology. We didn't talk about method. We didn't talk about, I mean, we did talk about method, but we've talked about the real groundwork of what it means to have a conversation with somebody and give them a response that can direct them, to ask them powerful questions. Before you can ask a powerful question, you have to be a powerful listener. So yeah, it does work for me. Thank you.
Right.
And for me, it's when I have some doubt or don't know, or
Doubt.
doubt, and when I'm confusion, always after meeting, I have much more things clear. Yeah, echo. That always happen. And I always feel better. Yes, so it's really works for me. I enjoy come here, and that meeting, and with our meeting, yes, and with David, yeah.
So
They gave me some energy for go forward. Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it's given me a lot of joy, this as well, and I'm very grateful for the work that you and Gwen have both put into this as well, on the side, on going through this and the manual, and just kind of thinking how we can adjust our content to make it suitable for the student while maintaining the learning and the teaching. And I know you and Gwen have spent a lot of time outside of the official containers doing this work. So yeah, muzzle tov to both of you.
I learned a lot more than Branka did. Branka, you've taught me a great deal more than I've ever taught you.
And, well, Gwen, you taught to me a lot of things, and yes, this for me means lots. If without you, I didn't understand nothing. So you explain me with simple words, with example, and I have everything right in my notebook. Yeah, helps me a lot.
All right, everybody, take care. Hey, see you next Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. See you at Monday, Gwen.
Yes, see you tomorrow night. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, David.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Branka. Thank you, David.
Oh,
Yeah.
bye bye.
Bye.